Across centuries of religious text, folklore, and occult writing, few names carry the same dark reputation as Beelzebub, often portrayed as one of the highest ranking demons in the infernal hierarchy. Beelzebub has been feared, invoked, and condemned for thousands of years. While many demons appear briefly in mythological literature, Beelzebub's legacy is unusually persistent, moving from ancient Near Eastern religion into Jewish writings, Christian demonology, and later occult traditions. But who exactly is Beelzebub? And why has this figure been described for centuries as a being that no mortal should ever attempt to summon? The earliest known reference appears in the Hebrew Bible, particularly in the second book of Kings. In that text, the name appears as Beelzebub, a deity worshipped in the Philistine city of Ekron. The name itself likely originated from the Canaanite god Baal, a storm and fertility god widely worshipped throughout the Levant. However, in later Jewish interpretations, the name Beelzebub was possibly transformed into a mocking title, meaning Lord of the Flies, turning a rival deity into something grotesque and corrupted. By the time of the New Testament, Beelzebub has undergone a dramatic transformation. Rather than being a pagan god, he has now described as a prince of demons, sometimes even identified as a chief lieutenant of Satan. This shift marks one of the most fascinating evolutions in religious mythology, a god becoming a demon. One of Beelzebub's most infamous titles is Lord of the Flies. This title carries both symbolic and disturbing implications. Flies have long been associated with decay, disease, and corruption. They gather where death and rot exist. In ancient cultures, swarms of flies represented impurity and spread of sickness. Thus, calling Beelzebub the Lord of Flies implies mastery over corruption, both physical and spiritual. Some medieval scholars believe the name suggested that Beelzebub ruled over pestilence and decay. Others interpreted it metaphorically. Flies represent intrusive thoughts, temptations, and moral rot slowly consuming a person from within. The title therefore became a powerful symbol of moral corruption spreading like infestation. Descriptions of Beelzebub vary widely across centuries, but many occult texts present him as an unsettling and grotesque figure. In some medieval grimoires, Beelzebub appears as a towering demon surrounded by a swarm of flies. His body is often described as monstrous, sometimes with insect-like features, sometimes as a crowned demon seated upon a throne of filth and decay. Other traditions portray him as strangely regal, wearing a crown and commanding legions of lesser demons. This dual imagery is important. On one hand, Beelzebub embodies corruption and rot. On the other, he is described as a powerful ruler within hell's hierarchy. This contrast reinforces the idea that evil does not always appear chaotic. It can also be organized, intelligent, and commanding. Within demonological traditions, Beelzebub is often portrayed as possessing immense influence. Occult writing attributes several powers to him. Powers like Master of Temptations. Beelzebub is said to manipulate human desires, amplifying greed, pride, and indulgence until they spiral into destructive behavior. Beelzebub is said to be a commander of demonic legions. He is described as commanding vast number of demons, making him one of the most powerful figures in hell's hierarchy. Beelzebub is known as being a spreader of chaos and corruption. Like the symbolism of flies spreading disease, Beelzebub's influence is often described as gradual corruption, moral decay that spreads quietly through individuals and societies. Some traditions suggest he can distort perception, encouraging arrogance and self-importance in those who seek forbidden power. In Christianity, Beelzebub is often associated with one of the 7 deadly sins. That sin is gluttony. However, in many interpretations, gluttony extends beyond food. It represents excess in all forms, endless consumption, insatiable desire, and an inability to control one's appetite. Under this framework, Beelzebub symbolizes the danger of indulgence without restraints. Criminals like serial killers, tyrants, and serial rapists all come into the categorization of gluttonous by nature. When desires become limitless, it begins to consume the individual rather than satisfy them. This idea made Beelzebub a powerful figure, the demon of endless appetite. Medieval occult texts often warned practitioners against attempting to summon higher-ranking demons. Beelzebub was frequently listed among the most dangerous. There were several reasons for this fear. First, high-ranking demons were believed to possess immense power and cunning. Summoning them with absolute control could supposedly lead to catastrophic consequences. Second, many texts suggested that Beelzebub specialized in deception. Even experienced occultists feared that he could manipulate the summoner rather than obey them. Finally, invoking such entities was believed to risk spiritual corruption. The act of seeking power from demonic forces was seen as opening a doorway that could not easily be closed. Whether taken literally or symbolically, the warning was clear. The pursuit of forbidden power can consume the one who seeks it. For example, you watching this video right now, or me who created an entire channel in the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Today, Beelzebub remains one of the most recognizable demons in literature and popular culture. His name has appeared in theology, horror stories, films, and even modern novels. Beelzebub, perhaps, is the most famous cultural reference. Perhaps the most famous cultural reference is Lord of the Flies, whose title echoes the ancient name of Beelzebub and explores humanity's descent into savagery. The symbolism persists because Beelzebub represents something deeply human, the danger of unchecked desire and moral decay. Rather than a simple monster from folklore, he functions as a mythological warning, a reminder that corruption rarely arrives suddenly. It begins small, like a single fly, and then the swarm follows. And perhaps that is the reason why a demon with an endless appetite, a demon who is cunning and deceptive, became the Lord of the Flies.